Testing. You okay? Oh no, I heard it from over here. Testing, testing, testing. Grand Rising, good morning. All that good stuff. Happy Tuesday to you all from the You Will Make It TV YouTube channel where we share inspirational quotes, divine messages, and insightful topics weekly. If you haven't already, you're definitely encouraged to hit that subscribe bell, hit the like button to share your support because, of course, I don't come on here and go live, you know what I'm saying, just for clout when it comes to like insightful topics like these. Real raw stories that are happening every day in our communities or abroad, okay? Um, it's very rare that I even like, I don't know, like share the whole mug shots because I try to be like respectful, which we're going to talk about that more, when it comes to the accused and what their lawyers have been responding to the public at this time and stuff like that. That's why I don't always feel comfortable immediately like sharing mug shots and stuff. But because of the sinister plans these guys supposedly had, you know what I'm saying, surrounding their scheme, this is pretty serious, and that's why this is a viral topic right now. So I'm just here to give my personal reaction and commentary, especially as a black woman. It really doesn't matter what nationality we are. Excuse that buzzer. My dryer is so loud. But it doesn't matter what nationality we are when it comes to protecting women and children. And if you're not one of those this is just my opinion, my reaction, okay? Nobody has to take anything I say personal. But of course, the whole country is having a reaction to news like this. Like, what do you mean? The least we could do is uh, when I say be considerate, I'm talking about the towards the potential victims. Because let's say they would have never found these guys, they would have never found the plot or something. Then what? You know what I'm saying? Would they have found out later? Uh, I ain't gonna say by the time it was too late, because with that whole Epstein thing too. I was like, what's up with these islands? Island. It's always some island mentioned behind the scenes that they're trying to like. I guess we all know why, right? You feel like if you go further with your crimes, you get away with it or get to live how you want to. But I don't think they understand. You're taking people from their homeland or where they're legal residents. Kidnap is kidnap. You take them to an island, and then you expect nobody to really care. And that's what was sad or grabbed my attention about this particular story. Anyway, we will be back with more topics, of course, because it's just been so much unraveling in the news lately. And shout out to the news for even covering more stories that probably not even just myself, probably many more agree, but stories that actually really do deserve just as much coverage. Uh, You know, it's just the days of privilege or what people would call privilege. Like, do people even look at that the same anymore? Because how much privilege is so much privilege that you damn near get away with starting a whole new sex slave farm on another island, bro. You know, people try to sit here and compare. Be with me, God, as I try to get this statement out, my opinion. People try to sit here and try to compare what they call privilege in modern day times. And I just have my own opinions about this right now. We all, one privilege as Americans, we all come with is like things like equality or freedom of speech or workers' rights. You know, people in some countries, it's hard for them to find a job, depending on what the conditions there are. But there are just some of these privileges that like naturally come with who we are as Americans, right? But I'm just giving my opinion. And I knew times had changed or something shifted in people's minds. I don't know what to call it. When you had people sitting around trying to bring up privilege again and compare privileges of people, that was a problem to me to begin with. If there are those privileges that come with your right as American citizens, nobody should be speaking on those. But it's funny how they kind of try to blend in privileges and have you so distracted by who's getting what privilege and what privilege they think somebody shouldn't get. I knew the country was changing then. We don't have time, especially when people are trying to work and pay bills and make sure there's food in the house because they don't know when food stamps are going to be cut off again. You don't have time to be focused on somebody else's quote unquote privilege when we're all, by this time in modern day history, we have made it to the point where most people, they do have some kind of even the homeless has privileges. And lately, some of those have been challenged. You know what I mean? And y'all probably think I speak on the homeless a lot on the You Will Make It TV channel, but it's only right. I don't speak on them in a negative way. I speak on them in a way of humanitarianism. What do you mean? Like, you could be homeless for a season. You could be homeless for a reason that had nothing to do with you either. I'm sick of people saying homeless people need to take accountability, but not wanting the people who abuse the homeless or cause people to be homelessness to be held accountable. What do you mean? If it's truly a homeless crisis, you need to look at the crisis from the ground up. But that's just my opinion. You know, like, why just look at them? But I brought up the homeless because, like, yeah, even they have, like, privilege. If they're American homeless, and guess what their number one privilege is? The pursuit of happiness, first of all, because you're going to meet homeless people that tell you they're happy to be out there. And y'all probably like, what world are you coming from saying that? I know some of them are actually happy to be out there. They feel like it's not just about them not being able to handle the responsibilities of life. They enjoy the vacation away from it. They want the time to just be able to be a human sometimes. And I don't know how to explain it, but I do know they exist. Some of them are happy to be out there and they come out of the cold at will. They'll come out when they're ready, is what I mean. You know, uh, they have a right to still take a shower, still dress nice every day when they feel like it, still be groomed and get haircuts and nice hairstyles, rebuild their credits, get jobs, right? These are privileges. I'm talking about the word privilege for a second. It's, you notice I didn't say a certain color or nationality privilege or pretty privilege. These other titles they put on privilege, these labels of privilege that some of us are supposed to be walking around here with, right? To me, on certain levels, it's like non existent. I don't look at life that way, but I'm just talking about me. But I know the term privilege in general is very real. I'm very aware of this. That's why I was able to sit back and say, now, since when were people so tuned in and zoned in on? See, people don't seem to be after just your power or your money or your finances or your reputation anymore. They really are looking deep inside to see where they feel like you are privileged. I didn't say the word abundant. I didn't say rich. I didn't say blessed. They want to know what your privileges are. If that's not like the devil, because I haven't really got into my reaction to this news story about these two Texas men and what they were plotting or got caught trying to do. I'm just going in first, explaining my definition of privilege and how I think people's misconception of privilege has been a little altered. There are those natural privileges that come just through your birthright or through law, definitely through law when you're a legal American citizen. Those are privileges we understand. Like you can go buy a Coca-Cola at 6 in the morning. Anybody can do that. They'll just watch your life and consider that a privilege or wonder if you know that it's a privilege. Because some privileges in people's life they're not actually thankful for until somebody begins to sabotage it or show them, look, I'm going to show you every second I feel like you're not grateful for this little old privilege you have. Like somebody like me, I would laugh at an attack like that because it's like, who are you to say what I look at as a privilege in my life and what's not? But I'm just giving a new perception. Have people thought about this lately? Privilege, not just colorist privilege or pretty and ugly privilege or athletic privilege, whatever they call it. There's many labels when it comes to that. Um, I just think it's in a negative way for sure. People have begin to misconstrue, or it's being taught some kind of way, or it's not being taught because there's people talk about how we teach things the wrong way or we learn them the wrong way. Maybe they were taught the right way, but the third thing is it wasn't taught at all. Anyways, there are those privileges we are born with. Because to me, a privilege is a stretch further than a right. Right. I might have to use my other device here. Guys, bear with me. Yeah, rights and privileges. They tie hand in hand. But those privileges are what I'm really looking at here. Because obviously, some people have a mentality that women particularly, and children, are seemingly more privileged. Like who would look at life like that? Hold on, guys. I'm finna have to switch to my other device. Oh Lord, I thought I was talking the whole time, y'all, and it was on. I was making a good point too. Oh no, let's see if I can remember what I just said. Oh yeah, I was speaking on how I feel like people notice I didn't just say men, but maybe there's people out there that feel like women and children get too much privilege. Notice I started the stream off giving my personal reaction and commentary to this topic with the word privilege and how everybody looks at it different these days. What grade and age do we start learning about that? Or do we talk about that anymore? Or we expect people to just become adults and know what privilege is? It starts with the word P. Not that that means anything. I'm trying to make it clear to people. Privilege matters. The rights and privileges to me are two different things. Like privilege is a step further than rights, right? And I feel like we all put privilege in a different or we put it on the back burner because nobody wants to talk about it. Okay? So yes, maybe people look at or men, for example, I guess I can use them for example, like there might be privileges that come with who they naturally are, like you're born a man or whatever. It's a privilege. You're just going to naturally have certain privileges, and then there's the ones that the laws remind you. Like, yeah, we all got a privilege to this. It's called equality, or it's called the right to pursue something, or the right to do something, or be the way you want to be. You know, we all know this is tragic with really, because what if, right? And how many more people think like this? Like, yeah, if I could really put a plan in motion, I have all women and children enslaved. It's sick. And they didn't just say enslaved, y'all. They meant enslaved. Like, they had plans for like sexual exploitation type stuff, allegedly, according to these articles right now about this. I heard the mans were out of Texas or something. This is just sad. It's okay, and it's okay to check on people too. What do I mean by that? I know both of these guys here had families, friends, or maybe they were people that were more off to themselves. You know, you gotta check on people. Just watching. They ain't gotta know, I guess. And I'm not saying it's okay to stop people, but if it go as far as their mental is thinking to even plan or plot stuff like this, and people just excuse it like, well, they were thinking about money, or this person was thinking about money, like, and we all need it. But how is that not crossing the threshold of privileges for all people? Or let's start off with saying Americans first, because kids are kids anywhere you go. But, you know, it was just with this story how I was talking about, like, they maybe were going to take them to some Haitian island or something. You know, stories progress, they unfold. We find out what are truths, what are rumors. But this one definitely sparked a viral reaction. You know what I'm saying? Just from the people, the commenters of the world. Like, well, and they're wondering, are the parents paying attention? Of course we are. I can be one of them to speak about it. Like, this is not okay that people even think this way. And it shouldn't take a news story. You know what I'm saying? What do we think, like, really? When they say global trafficking is one of the biggest, sex trafficking, no. This is what statistics say. And it's been proven. Maybe, I guess, when they recuperate money, when they go in and knock everything down and see what all these people got, it always show it. Lots of assets and money, bro. You know, it's very sad that it's just labeled right there like, hey, they were planning to do this with women and children. Their dream was to bring something like sex farms or something back. When I said back, because if you look at the history of whatever in bondage situations that have already happened in the history of our country. But it's just disrespectful, bro. Like to even sit around and think like that. Disrespectful, so what? I mean, but it does matter when you are. I always try to teach that. Like, you don't have to like everybody. You don't have to have a taste in everything. You don't have to be into what everybody's into. You don't have to agree that women have, or you don't have to think that at all. Like, oh, women and children have privilege. Like, what kind of mindset is that? And what privileges are you talking? Like, that's weird to even start. Oh, yeah, let's put everybody back in their category so we can see more clearly. No, you catch up with modern day. Everybody's cool with advancements and convenience until it's time to think about that with like human life. We're cool using apps and internet and what else am I thinking about? Oh, social chats and every other advancement, speed blenders and air fryers. We didn't always have those things. This is modern day. You know what I'm saying? And people are cool with all these other advancements. But it's like, come on, bro, let's advance. Do we know what privilege is? And why are people trying to suddenly put people in categories like, oh, they have too much privilege? Why are you worried about what privileges they have? Or is it a problem? Then it's okay. Let's talk about it. This is becoming a normal part of society. That was a problem. I'm not trying to deflect from the topic. But how do people not see privilege going hand in hand? I just feel like too many people thinking that way anyway. Maybe it is necessary. Maybe it is necessary for people to like look at themselves and reconsider the world. Like it is modern day time. I'm trying to help people do it. Anytime in history, humans are humans, right? But, you know, maybe the newer generation, maybe somebody said, hey, they need to be a little more challenged with the privileges that lie before them when they know, even with the new generation here today in modern day history, we didn't ask for a lot of these advancements. They're just here. The convenience, the advancements, the technology, right? It's all here. I mean, we're not complaining. Most young people or the newer generations, they're not complaining about, they wouldn't be looked at as advancements to their generation. That's the thing about it, too. They think the world is safer. It's like a safety net, these internet things for the younger people. Do people think about that? It's like a whole, you know, they're born into it. Some of us, we saw these advancements happen, right? So it's just like, hey, listen from our side. Like, what? And how does this stuff not make it? See, that's the thing too about social media groups and internet stuff. It makes, remember, people said this, the connection, the convenience, it brings people together. There's so many viral stories out there of people found their old teachers or different people, literally. Them stories been out there. They found somebody they were looking for, but it had it not been for social media, it wouldn't have been as convenient for them, you know, to have been able to connect. So that is what the internet do now. It's gonna connect people in a more speedy delivery way if they want it. And that's what makes it dangerous. Period. Even I don't like to admit it, but that's what makes it dangerous. At the same time, you got a whole new generation look at it more of a safety net. It was here, they were born into it. When the first iPhone 4s came out, right? There were babies being born that are older now. The first iPhone. How old were some of us? Okay? Cause like what made these guys so comfortable? I bet they were shocked too when the plot just got put out there. Like, yes, there are still people thinking or trying to bring this type of stuff back. Maybe it was rooted from something they already felt towards women and children. People like, oh, it's just the money, and they think crazy. This money gets to their head. Is it that, or Cause it's like modern day time, bro. It's kids out here the age of 4 with PS5s and stuff already. Like it's literally modern day time. They should be okay playing the game Call of Duty, uh, 2K, being kids today. Like, can we talk about this for a second? In modern day time. But there's like internet people that just sit on here looking for drama and they show it clearly. Thank you for us. Thank you out there in the masses. We can't make this up. It's just like going out in the community, going out in the streets every day when they get on the internet. Grown people too, whether they're a man or a woman. People don't care that they see you. I mean, most people respect it, but they see you in a relationship these days. They have what you call messenger or chat, still low key. Shoot a message to somebody. Maybe it's not for dating purposes, but this is just how convenient it is today. You know, just to connect. That's the word I was using. Cause that's like throwing that bait out there, just sending the message. That don't mean the person's gonna respond. Can we talk about that more too? Cause people might reach out to you. I mean, that's not even a text message having your phone number, your address, or nothing. What do people mean? Yes, social media, the internet. I've got my point across about this. I think I made a strong argument. You can almost connect with people at the drop of a dime these days. And people still, let me not say what I was thinking, but I was going to say, people still like, there's no way. If you want to make it like in reality, can't nobody hide. There's damn sure no way they're hiding on the internet either. That's weird. It's just weird to think that way. And I know that a lot of these predators, that's exactly the avenue they take to try to get at the, now this story said women and children. But who knows? Scammers, they don't care who you are. Depending on what kind of scam they got going on, I guess. But some people, maybe they do feel like it's a little too much or something. Uh, when people may or may not speak a little bit from experience, and I don't care how little, minimal or maximum of experience, you use, why not use that? The devil want us out here scared of our own experiences. Yes, I said it. And it's okay to not feel strange that you're experiencing. I mean, yeah, it's going to show through your life. God is not going to expect you to, like, okay, you just learned this lesson yesterday. You better get it tomorrow. You better ace this test. It depends on what it is. Like, he does give, like, if I could give it metaphorically too, for those that don't believe in God, look at it as a fatherly, like a true loving parent. They're going to give you time to like process the lesson, practice the lesson a few times, okay? You don't just throw somebody throw somebody in a test. I mean, like I said, it depends on what it's about. So, we can't fear our experiences, and depending on what those are, it's like people want you to just look non-experienced. Maybe that's what it is. And it don't have to be women and children out here non-experienced either. Like, who told people that? I mean, that's just the natural way, right? Like, they're the weaker vessels of the world. Anytime you look at it, anytime you put it on a scale or a balance beam, the women and children are always going to be the weaker vessels. I think we can all agree to that. Now, you do have bodybuilding women, wrestling women, boxing women. You got women that do just about everything, you know. But like I said, where we look at that is, yeah, women can do just as much. Others are looking at that as still in that old time mind frame, like, no, women and children have too much privilege. Or I can just step on and, uh, I don't know. But that is quite the battle on your hands. If you find yourself in modern day time just fighting for your privileges, like do you even have them, or is that the goal the whole time to make you feel like you don't? Like, come on, bro. You see the minimal to the maximum of the world with some type of privilege in their life. It just depends on what part of the world. But this is modern day time. I don't care what part of the world you're in. You have to expect that if everybody feel privileged, what is privilege? You see, if we get to a level like, yeah, everybody privileged, no matter who you are. Like we've tried this way. We have. We truly have. Like equality and all of this. What do you think that is? Uh, Rights and laws that protect our equalities, right? I don't know. It's just like maybe I should speak more on my opinions about things like this. Cause like who's out here if everybody's got so much privilege, why is there still so much war and battling and fighting going on? Right? The women can work, the men can work, the children can be children. These are the natural privileges of the world, mankind. Cause what does it look like? You know what I'm saying? Just being enslaved and all. I mean, these stories of enslavement or people with these very high tech imaginations. The Bible calls them vain imaginations. This is a good example. Like, why are you imagining some women and kids somewhere in bondage to what kind of work you want them to be doing? That's a vain imagination. We call it vain because it's so many other just ways to make money. Or maybe people just trying to stand 10 toes down and show you, no, it's not. This is the only way. So it's a sad story because, like I asked, how, what could this have turned into if these guys weren't brought down? Then, how many more, like, idealizing things like this? Fantasizing, idealizing, imagining. Like, what? Like, I want to see women and children go back to their places. Like, bro, it's modern day times. We have other things to think about or move forward with. You know, because if you open one can of worms, and like I said, what does that look like when they are the natural weaker predators? Like, where are you edifying yourselves? No group of men will want to look at themselves as being taken captive and being taken to another place. They probably were imagining that it be more people of indigenous or like darker colored people, women and children, because in a place like Haiti, you would probably blend right in. And I'm not trying to be funny, but that is so sad. Like, shout out to the guys on that team that helped to, and I'm gonna say that with great confidence because that's horrible. Like, who knows how many people they were gonna try to get caught up into that, and hopefully moving forward, I mean, yes, who wouldn't think this is the ideal way? Everybody put on the face like they think that sex trafficking is bad and it's awful and it shouldn't be happening to women and children, right? But still, the statistics are so darn high. The money made out of it, reported in statistics, are still is still a large number for it to be so many people that's just against it. And I don't say that to condone it. You see what I mean? I'm saying it in reference to, I just don't get that. Like, why would it still be so much of it going on? But when people jump on the internet, most people are saying, oh yeah, this needs to stop and release the Epstein files and oh, these stories are so horrible. That's why it's like I agree, but I wouldn't just keep the topic there. I would go further and ask, well, if so many people feel like this is horrible, like they proclaim in these social media feeds and comment sections of these stories, if they really all feel this way, why are the percentages, and we're talking globally, but nationally too, so many women and children come up missing like every day? It's really awful. So it's probably gonna happen. It's just sad. It's gonna happen. It's just happening at alarming rates. Remember over the summer, they were showing those TikTok recordings of ice cream trucks riding through neighborhoods at weird, eerie hours of the night, actually playing music, like the ice cream music. Like it was trying to lure kids over there to it. Or maybe there was just some footage they put out there to spark, you know, interest or something. I don't know who would do that, ride around in the ice cream truck at that time, but it was going on. Cause look, you get into a time where people, what, they're taunting you so much that they're setting up like, oh, we had a more expanded plan than what you thought. Y'all just, when us as the masses, we just see it as, oh, woman or child disappeared. But then you hear stories like this, like they had whole plans of where they're gonna take them other places, and then probably never see them again. It's really sad. All the way to third world countries. Like what? They look quite charming, don't they, on the mug shot? Like it's just crazy, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's not about who types in the comments and says what out of their mouth and say, "Oh yeah, I'm against it too. This is wrong." And maybe if I say we should release the Epstein files, I'll look like one of the people who are against it. That's not enough. Like talking to a person like me, I'm gonna be like, if it's so wrong, and I can believe your opinion. Why are so many people still doing it? I don't know who's worse, the buyers or the sellers or the. All we know is it's always victims in a crossfire. Like it's so stupid. And it's gonna tell you in the statistics, like, yeah, this is like a global top money making business. And I'm like, what? It's right there on the internet when you research it. I'm like, how is this? I'm really tired of looking at it. Like I'm tired of seeing that statistic. But people probably wouldn't know that about me. I actually care. I'm like, I've always thought that, like, every time I research that and it says that, I'm like, what? If this is such a bad crime, like one of the top crimes of the world, making like a big millions and billions of dollars, like why is it? How is this still so? I guess the money kind of tells the story, because the more you're making, the more you can try to keep people from, I guess, infiltrating it, even if it's some kind of crime ordeal they got going on. But that's why that's important too, where that quote or that saying, "Follow the money," always come from. Because if people really doing it, there's no way those statistics are still. But see, change starts somewhere. Every little bit counts. I do believe in hope and like faith and stuff like. I really do. You can see something going on for 200 years. How do we think evolution we got here? And now you got people trying to drag you back like, no, you should fight for your privilege. Or they want to be the ones to dictate what you look at as privilege and what you appreciate is privilege. I mean, from the smallest privileges in my life, I'm more grateful than people think actually. I'm so more hyper focused on other things that they feel like you shouldn't even look at that as privilege. That's just, but I do. You see, and their definitions of privileges are different. It's 9 times out of 10 always got to do with money, but I just choose to perceive what I consider privilege. Like, come on, bro, your life, health, and strength to have strength every day, because we get older, we get frail, we get tired, broke down, whatever, right? And your health might not be 100%. You lucky if you get 70% with your overall health, literally. That's what I look at as privilege. Like, if you want to focus on those three things every day, put money as number 4 or 5, but your life, health, and strength, those are privileges. You breathing, I look at the next person like that. Every living being, like, wow, a lot of privilege. They're walking around living soul. And now the rest of your privilege, what, like I said, it's going to depend on like what part of the world you're in. Because in certain parts, depending if you are male or female, you know what I'm saying, the privileges may vary. But most places in modern day time, yeah, privilege is pretty vast and diverse and accessible to most people. Like, it's modern day time. I'm not going to let that strong part of the argument go when it comes to these things. Like, mankind, rise up. This is not the only way to make it. How is this the top money making industry of the world still? But everybody in the comments, they're not fooling me. Everybody be in the comments talking about, yeah, this is wrong and these pedophiles. Like I just said, even these two guys from this news story was people, family members, friends, or people, peers, or community, people they were out here with. You know, it's what I'm trying to say. It got to be closer to home for all of us than we all really know. You can't just think just because you're not aware that you're an active victim or something, or that it hasn't currently happened to you. What people look at themselves as more privileged because of that. Like, well, I'm not going through what that person's going through, so I mean, I guess you could look at it like that. Like, yeah, you're privileged. Anytime you're not a victim of something against your will, yeah, you're pretty privileged. It's like saying that you're tired of, because, like, a lot of stuff, though, people have been walking away from. Like, they will ban things or walk away from it or go on. I forgot what those are called, where they just kind of go on a rant or they withhold their money from certain businesses and stuff. But this is not one that you've seen people do it yet. Like, going back to the days of like making people earn their way versus paying their way into everything. You know what I'm saying? And even the countries that times are getting more modernized, that even the countries that were passing laws for child bride marriages and stuff like this, so it could be legal for them to marry kids, they've been changing those. A lot of places have been, you know what I'm saying? Actually, I'll say it that for the sake of the stream, they're getting more strict about that too. Like, more people are waking up like, yeah, child bride laws aren't right. More people are joining the bandwagon. Some progress is better than none. I know it's not perfect everywhere yet. And that's what make it a problem, because as long as it's a place that like accepts this type of behavior with extreme uh, slavery type conditions for the women and children, you're gonna always have other people that just feel like, oh, well, let me go there where it's actually legal to do it. And that's why if they talk about New World Order or the world banning to do anything, this definitely needs to be a part of the conversation. what are we banding together to do if certain things are still going to be going on? Like, and you want everybody to just get on one program about this, because I'm sure this is why a lot of people are angry as it is. It starts at whenever they be like, it starts at home. Okay, that goes for everybody. And some people's homes they start at are foster homes, orphanages, or grandma's home. You just talking about it starts at home. Nobody chooses where they start. That's my point. Anyways, then they get older, and everybody's perceptions are usually molded and shaped through their life experiences. So we don't sleep on our experiences with anything else, with work, or when people are writing books called 10 Ways How to Cook a Turkey. You don't downplay their experiences, do you? When they write books on how to do a math problem and they pass them out to the U.S. Education Department and they give them to the students, nobody questions who wrote the math books at school. Why? Because they trust the experience. If they used it the last semester for the last students, they're going to use it for the next kids that come in there. Nobody questions the experiences that comes out of these books. Okay, so we're not going to do that with women and children. We don't question the experiences of people's workmanship when they go in for a new job opportunity. If anything, an employer wants to hear those, you know, thing an employer wants to hear why you should be the best candidate for a position that they need somebody who's going to take the position seriously, and somebody who's, if they're not experienced, they're trainable, or they're willing to go through training. But yeah, it's not saying take a stick and beat everybody with a certain mentality, but with these type of things, yeah, I'm not I do not promote violence on this channel in any way, shape, or form. But you can do that in other ways. People just be like, speak up, say something, you know. No, no, no. I thought it was like about what we do too, like what we show. Um, you know, if you see, that's why I'm just saying, pay more attention, because sometimes it doesn't show at all. You didn't know somebody close to you, around you, down the street. Like I said, you got to be closer to home than people think if it's still happening on a mass global level. I just wanted to come and give my commentary and reaction, maybe a little more insight and perception into these type of matters too. You know what I'm saying? Because we all come with our thoughts and opinions. We come from different places, you know? Of course, a victim is more experienced than somebody who's never been through it at all. In any topic that you bring to the table. So it's like we got to reassess the whole table. Like, who's all sitting here and where are their minds at? Really, really. You could be sitting with some folks that feel like women and children need to be enslaved in other countries just so they can make money. Privilege and power tie hand in hand too. We know that mostly powerful been known to be privileged, but it's like in modern day time, everybody everybody wants to feel privileged, and they feel like the modern day technology investments help them to do that. If they want to look more privileged, they have a filter. If they want to look like they have more money, they're willing to go do whatever they got to do. Uh, and I don't think that's right, you know. If we really stand for equality, why can't we all just like accept one another the way we are? Because if once our mindsets change, our probability of making certain actions changes too. Thank you guys for tuning in to another insightful topic with You Will Make It TV this morning. You guys have a great, beautiful Tuesday. Make it a great one, okay? We'll be back probably this evening about 7 p.m. Mountain Time with another insightful topic. And until next time.